Hey there guys, in today's video we're going to be doing a little bit of an overview on this Matrix 5000 round super high capacity box mag. Now this particular magazine is designed for M4 and M16 Airsoft AEGs. As the name would suggest, it is capable of holding 5000 BBs, which is about the size of this container here. And man, if you guys run out with 5000 rounds of the magazine, I'm just going to be thoroughly impressed. I was able to find this magazine on eBike for $21 on sale. Usually they're $28, but somewhere in that $20 to $30 range you can probably find these. I'll put a link in the description to the eBike page where you can get this at, as well as look at what brand of airsoft guns this will fit in. In today's video I'm just going to be going over the two M4 AEGs that I own, so if you want to check out if yours are compatible, that website will help you out. But I think to start off we'll just go over some of the features of the magazine itself. Now this model does automatically feed, but it's after winding, just like the normal magazines that you see for M4s. But that's as opposed to the electric versions of this drum magazine, which kind of feed them themselves and they're electrically powered, so you don't have to wind them. At the top here we see that little port where the BBs are going to come from inside the magazine up into the gun. Then we also have two ports to put airsoft BBs into. One is at the top of the magazine here. The other port is at the top of the back of the magazine, and sometimes it's a little stiff. If you take a flathead screwdriver or something and just twist a little bit, it'll come undone. As far as I can tell, both of those ports lead to the same place. There is a dial here that allows you to dump BBs from here into here, but I think they all feed from the same area, so as long as you have BBs in this, it's probably going to be feeding into your gun. So to show you guys how the box mag loads, I'll also show you just the standard magazine loading procedure. It's pretty simple. Once a normal magazine is in, it just clicks into place and then you can release it as normal. And these box mags operate in very much the same fashion. They're just a little bit harder to get into place. You just want to make sure that it's really snug on there. Sometimes with these you just have to give it kind of a firm smack from the bottom to make sure that it clicks into place. You'll see that the magazine release lever is raised now, so it's not depressed and it's not going to slide back out. One of the nice things about this magazine is, in addition to having a lot of ammo, it has a profile that extends off to the right. So although it sticks out a little bit more to the left, more than a standard capacity magazine, it's not going to get in the way too much if you're a right-handed shooter like myself. If you guys are a lefty, I'm sorry, but you're going to have this kind of in the way of you, which is unfortunate. Now the magazine itself is 1.1 pounds or 510 grams, so that's without the gun. But once you add 5,000 BBs, it's going to be considerably more heavy. So that's just one thing I want you guys to keep in mind if you're thinking about getting one of these. In addition to that, it's going to shake around a lot more than a standard capacity mag, since there's going to be more BBs and more open space. I have not put any BBs into this one yet, but I have another one, and you can hear it's a little bit loud, so it's going to be a little bit harder to be stealthy on the field. But that's just a couple things to think about if you guys want to pick one of these up. It's kind of a trade-off. If you guys want to get BBs downrange fast for a long period of time, maybe use this as a support role. This is probably going to be a good benefit to have 5,000 rounds. It's just not going to be super stealthy. It's going to be a little bit heavier for you. Another thing that I like about these magazines is that it kind of gives you that support role at a fraction of the cost. These magazines are only about 20 bucks, so if you get an M4 that's you want to use for other applications, it's a lot lighter than maybe a saw. And I think generally with airsoft guns, the M4 platforms are going to be cheaper. Of course there's going to be variations, but if you want to get a light machine gun, they're probably going to have similar FPSs. I mean, again, depending on variation, but this is a lot cheaper. I think this gun was about $120, and then the magazine's $20, so it's like $140 total, where LMGs on e-bike can run upwards of $300. But if any of you are looking to play that support role and don't want to spend the extra money and are okay with how this setup looks, this might be something you'd be interested in. One last thing I'd like to mention about this magazine is that I currently have it on the JG M4, which is one of the approved brands for it. This magazine fits very well, it clips into this gun, and again there's a list on that webpage that I'll link you to that shows all of the compatible ones. Unfortunately though, I also have two Lancer Tactical M4s, which is not an approved brand for this magazine. It still fits into the gun okay and it feeds well, but it doesn't lock into place. If I were to put 5,000 rounds in this by itself, I think the weight alone would be able to just drag it off, especially if you're running around on the field. Now with that said, the magazine still does feed properly. If you wind it, have BBs in it, it's going to feed into this gun and it's going to send BBs downrange. I just don't trust it to stay in place on its own. You can take a piece of rope or a tie down or a belt and then just strap it around the whole thing. It'll keep it in place and you don't have to worry about it falling off. So I've gone ahead and done that. With mine there's a little bit of excess, so I can wrap that around the front RIS rails if I need to. But at this point I'm pretty confident in it not going anywhere, and I'm going to be able to run around with this and it's not going to come out. It'll still feed properly, and just a little DIY fix. And again, this method is probably only for platforms that aren't supported by the magazine. Anything that's listed on that website should be perfectly fine, should snap into place. It's just unfortunate that this one does not, but that's okay. And speaking of DIY projects, with this high capacity magazine and the other one that I've got, I had an idea to make like a dual M4 mounted turret. If that's something you guys would be interested in seeing, feel free to let me know in the comments below, or if you guys have any comments or questions about anything else, feel free to post those down there as well. I think that is going to be about it for today's video though, guys. For about 20 bucks, you can get something that you'll never have to reload with ever again, within reason. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. As always, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.